ep.1/nosleep. So I actually got permission to read his ebook as an ASMR. So if you're interested, please do check out his ebook in the link below. Anyhow, if you are ready, I'm excited. So let's get into it. Night Guard, Phase 1. When I first saw the ad, I didn't think twice. Earn up to $80 per night with our simple job as a night guard. No prior experience required. The ad said, and I submitted my resume as fast as I could, fearing it could disappear or be taken by someone else at any moment. Not 2 hours after submitting my application, I got a response on my email that I've been hired and can start working from tonight. It struck me as odd that there was no job interview and that I needed to start working right away. But hey, maybe they urgently needed someone. I've been jobless for over a year now, so I naively ignored any red flags and was just happy to have a job. I went to the given address at 8 p.m. and it turned out to be an office building. Hello? I called out when I entered, but no one responded. The hall I was in was engulfed in darkness, and the only source of light was coming through the pane of glass on the door, which had the same security on it. I knocked on the door, but there was no response. I decided to open it, and sure enough, it was empty. On the desk was a note, left clear as day for me to read. It said, "To the new night guard, your shift starts at 8:04 p.m. and ends at 4:04 a.m. When you arrive at the building and relieve the other guard of duty, you can stay in the security room as long as you want. But you have to use the elevator to get to the top floor once at any time during the shift. Once up there, you have to proceed to the end of the attic and flip the switch on the wall. That's it. If the other guard is not in the security room at the time of your arrival, make a report in the notebook and we will inform his family. As for your duty, it's very likely that when you push the top floor button 25, the elevator will go past our floor and you may see that it stopped on floor 33. If this happens, do not try pushing any of the buttons since they will not work. Go forward through the hallway. Note that the flashlight may not do much to illuminate the area, but still bring it with you. There's a spare in the drawer as well. Some people report hearing or seeing office employees working at their desks coming from any of the adjacent room. You may see them doing something like typing on a computer that isn't turned on or typing one word over and over on the screen. Ignore them at all costs. It is currently unknown if the employees are real or a manifestation of the mind, but ignoring them should keep you safe. Turn left when you reach the end of the hallway. You may sometimes see a man standing in the middle, blocking your way. He will do you no harm, so long as you maintain eye contact with him. You have to get past him, so put your hand on the wall to your right or left and slide it across as you go through to avoid stumbling and losing eye contact with the man. He will keep following you with his gaze and try to distract you. Reports indicate he may point behind you with a look of fear on his face to try to get you to look away. You may also hear loud crashing sounds or voices right next to you, but ignore them. Once you reach the end of the hall and round the corner, and not a moment sooner, you're safe from the individual. When you reach the exit, which leads to the staircase, proceed down. Make sure to note what floor you are on, and if any of the floors starts repeating on your way down, immediately go back up to the 33rd floor and then start descending again. If you see any of the other stair doors open, proceed carefully, especially focusing on the ceiling or underside of the stairs. You may start to hear footsteps coinciding with your own behind you. Don't stop to listen and don't turn around. Just proceed You will find yourself back in the hallway of 33rd floor, so simply repeat the steps from before. Once you reach 25th floor, you are in the clear. First, call the elevator and jam the door to keep it open. Press the floor 1 button and go back to the switch. After flipping the switch, the lights will go out. At this point, you will start to hear screams all around you, similar to the one described before. Run to the elevator as fast as you can, enter it while unjamming the door. If you did everything right, you should have at least 5 extra seconds to close the elevator before the entities of the building reach you. You should be back on the first floor of the security room once the elevator stops. You may spend the rest of the shift however you desire, so long as you don't leave the property between 8:04 p.m. and 4:04 a.m. Note that leaving the building at any given moment between the mentioned times will put you back on 33rd floor. Also note that not flipping the switch before 4:04 a.m. will result you in not being able to leave the building. Thank you for performing your duties. Management. It's 1:24 a.m. right now and the elevator door just opened on their own. Phase 2. I barely made through the building and it was mentally agonizing beyond words. At 2 a.m. I entered the elevator, which had been open for almost an hour prior to that. I took the note with me and followed all the rules written there. The elevator stopped on 33rd floor despite my hopes. There was the sound of typing to my left, and when I peeked through the shattered glass, I saw a guy in formal attire sitting by an old PC layered with dust, which wasn't even turned on, and typing away vigorously. He'd even glance over his shoulder and call out to his imaginary or invisible co-workers, saying things like,
"Cindy, do you have that report ready?"
Or,
"The client said we should meet at 2 p.m.
I tried not to look at him as I tiptoed through the hallway and turned left. A tall man in a coat stood in front of me and he was staring right at me. I knew I had to maintain eye contact with him, so I slowly went past him. The entire time he tried to distract me by pretending he was about to hit me and hoping I would flinch, pointing to things behind me in a very convincing manner with a look of horror on his face and etc. I swear at one point someone even screamed, "Watch out," right in my ear. Luckily, I made it unscathed, and going down the stairs to 25th floor was uneventful. I made it to the end of the hallway on 25th, flipped the switch, and rushed back to the elevator as blood-curdling screams echoed all around me. The elevator doors closed just in time for me to hear something heavy slam into it at full force. Luckily, the elevator started descending and the screams slowly faded. It stopped on the first floor, but the door wouldn't open. I pressed the open button in vain, and then the elevator started moving down. I slammed the number 1 button over and over, but the elevator failed to respond. It went down for an impossible amount of time, descending by my estimation at least 15 and 20 floors down. And then it finally stopped, and the doors opened. In front of me was some kind of a waiting room with a sofa and lamp table next to it. There was a door opposite of the elevator. I pressed the button over and over, but there was no response. It was clear the elevator wanted me to step out on this floor. Sure enough, as soon as I did, the doors closed again and the elevator went back up. I cursed, frustrated and scared shitless. I inspected the room and just then realized there was a hastily written note on the lamp table. I picked it up. Here's what it said. "If you're reading this, that means you fell for the trap just like me. The good news is you made it through the first task on the 25th floor. The bad news is there is no job and you aren't gonna get paid. Whoever these guys are, they're running some fucking experiments on us like some lab rats. We need to get the fuck out and get to the police. Read this next find yourself in a mansion of some sort. You'll need to make it to the 3rd floor, but it won't be easy. Follow these rules. Floor 1. Go through the hallway, but whatever you do, don't fucking look in the mirror to your left. You may see with your peripheral vision the reflection not mimicking your own movement or just facing and staring at you, but don't look at it. Close your eyes if you have to. Once you pass the mirror, turn left and go straight. You may hear the toilet flush in the bathroom to your right at this point. If this happens, hide immediately. There's a closet close by. Hide inside and don't make a sound until the old man comes out of the bathroom and is gone. Wait at least 1 full minute before going out. Once you're in the clear, climb the stairs in the main hall to the 2nd floor. Floor 2. Turn right. Turn right and take the 2nd door to the left, blue door. I have no idea what will happen if you take the other doors or turn left. Once through the blue door, you'll find yourself in a big room full of mannequins. Dozens of mannequins will be on both sides. You may hear giggling and some of them changing the direction of their gazes and their positions or poses when you don't look, but I think they won't harm you if you don't disturb them. If any of the mannequins drop to the floor and roll in front of you, run as fast as you can and close the door behind you once you're out. You should be close to the stairs again now. Follow the hall how it winds and don't worry about any voices you hear from the adjacent room, even if they beg you to come help them. If you hear or see any of the doors opening, hide again. The old man might seem like someone you can overpower easily, but don't even fucking think about it. Once it's gone, climb the stairs. Floor 3. Remember that man from 33rd floor who you had to keep eye contact with? He might be here again, but he's gonna be more aggressive this time. You're gonna hear someone screaming something like,
I got you now.
right behind you. But ignore it. You will start to feel a stinging and burning sensation in your eyes. Do your best not to blink. If you have to blink, try not to keep your eyes closed for more than a second. Maintain eye contact with him and go through the hall until you can turn left. Left from the original position, that means your right as you're facing the man backward. If you see a woman in patient's gown standing in front of the elevator facing away from you, just stand next to her and wait for the elevator. If she asks you to come inside the elevator with her, politely decline. If she doesn't say anything, you can step inside with her, but don't talk to her, just stare in front of yourself. Once you're in the elevator, you'll see that there are no buttons inside. The elevator will start going up on its own. When the elevator stops, wait until the woman steps out and stay inside until the elevator starts moving again. If she asks you if you'll come with her, politely decline again. Once the door closes, the elevator should go up a few more floors. Now, if the woman was not there at all, but then you took the elevator and she enters when the door opened, exit immediately. I don't know where you will be and I have no idea what you need to do there, so you're on your own. Hope you don't run into her. I came back to give you this warning, compiled from my own and others' people experiences, so chances are I either made it out or I'm dead somewhere along the way. If you manage to get out, expose these fuckers and don't let anyone else get fucked over. Good luck, a god who came before you. You've got to be fucking kidding me, was my first thought. 10 minutes later though, I was in the clear and managed to get to the elevator, but following every rule the guard laid out. I was lucky though, aside from the old man in the bathroom, no one else bothered me. I heard a giggle and a set of footsteps in the mannequin room, but neither the staring man nor the patient woman were present. So I managed to safely take the elevator, my heart thumping the entire time so fast, I thought it was going to burst out of my chest. The elevator started going up and I prayed I would be back at the reception. My hope was short-lived though, because when the elevator stopped and the doors opened, I was in an advanced security room with a bunch of camera feeds across the entire wall. On the desk on top of the keyboard was another note. so tired and scared. On the one hand, I felt really vulnerable without a weapon, but on the other hand, I was glad I didn't have anything that I could potentially use to end myself. I try not to think about the fact that suicide could prevent a far worse fate. I glanced at the camera feed. It seemed to be covering some sort of a rundown hospital. No one was on any of the cameras except for one. That patient lady, which the guard mentioned in his note, was peeking around the corner of one of the cameras, as if she was waiting for someone to walk by to give them a jump scare. I looked down at the note in front of me. It said, "Still alive. Good. You're gonna need to follow an even stricter set of rules in order to get past this area, especially making sure you do the things according to specific times. First off, no matter when you enter the room, the alarm clock on the desk is going to say 3:19 a.m. I glanced at the small clock in front of me, 3:19 a.m., and it just turned to 3:20. I continued reading. You need to follow these rules according to the times and not be late nor early anywhere. This is the most important part. First off, take a look at all the cameras and see if the staring man is anywhere on them. If he is, you'll see him staring directly at the camera. Turn off the camera and then turn it back on again. The man should be gone. If he's not, repeat until he is. Take some time to rest and prepare. At exactly 3:35 a.m., go out and conduct a patrol around the building as if you were on regular guard duty. You need to check every room on first and second floor, and you need to be back in the security room by 4 a.m. While you're patrolling, you may see a doctor in one of the rooms. He usually just appears out of nowhere. The room is empty the one moment, and then you turn around and he's there performing surgery on a mangled corpse. If you see him, back away slowly and try to exit the room without being noticed. If he calls after you, don't ignore him. He'll ask you to assist him by giving him surgical tools from the tray, so just do what he asks. Try not to give him the wrong tools, otherwise you might be the one he's going to dissect on that table. Next, you probably saw the woman peeking behind the corner on the camera by now. Don't worry, she'll be gone during your patrol. Once you're done with your patrol, get back to the camera room. You may sometimes see another guard sitting by the desk when you return. You can talk to him normally, like you would to a friend or coworker. Do not try to talk to him about your current predicament. At 4:15, he'll say he needs to conduct a patrol, and as soon as he leaves the room, lock the door behind him. From 4:15 to 4:30, you may hear knocking on the door and rattling of the knob, but you'll see no one on the camera covering the outside of the security room. Ignore the knocking and rattling, no matter how insistent it becomes. Even if you hear desperate cries for help in the voice of a woman or children, or the guard from before, don't open the door. They can't get inside if you don't let them in, so you should be safe. 4:30 to 4:40, you have a break, so take a moment to recuperate. Do not take a nap. From 4:40, you should focus on the cameras. You will start to feel really sleepy. No matter what you do, you must not fall asleep. As you get sleepier, you will also start to notice movement in your peripheral vision, or start to feel like someone is in the room with you, standing right over your shoulder and breathing. Just focus on the cameras, no matter how vivid the presence becomes. At 5 a.m., if you hear raspy breathing coming from the ceiling, do not look up. Close your eyes and count to 10. You will feel cold fingers touching you, and the raspy breathing will be in your ear. But whatever you do, keep your eyes closed until all stops completely. Continue focusing on the cameras until 5:29, but do not leave the security room under any circumstances. At exactly 5:29 a.m., get ready to move quickly. As soon as the clock ticks to 5:30 a.m. and not a second sooner, unlock and open the door and run for it. Just run straight into the elevator at the end of the hallway and ignore the growling behind you. Don't look back, because you need every second here. The elevator door will be open and it will automatically close and take you out of there once you're in. I'll be waiting on the other side. Good luck, brother. Guard who came before you. was 3:24 a.m. I glanced at the cameras. The staring man was on one of the feeds. I restarted it, and sure enough, in less than a second while the camera was off, he just disappeared. At 3:35 a.m. I went outside, conducting my patrol carefully, but still doing my best to hurry up. I glanced at my watch every minute or so. As I finished the last room and was about to exit, I heard someone humming behind me. I turned around and saw a surgeon in blood-stained clothes dissecting a corpse on the table, which was not previously there. I froze, but the doc was transfixed on surgery, humming more violently as he saw through one of the corpse's arm. Seeing this broke me out of my trance, and I slowly backed away, reaching for the door. As soon as I turned around to face the exit, I stopped dead in my track. "Ah!" the doc exclaimed, and I turned around, my heart ready to explode.
Almost forgot to take care of this.
He grabbed a scalpel and continued cutting the corpse, paying no attention to me. I silently exhaled in relief and left the place slowly. As soon as I was at the safe distance, I sprinted back to the security room. The room was empty, no guard in there like the note mentioned. I locked the door and continued following the agonizing rules on the list until 5:29 a.m., ignoring anything else in the room until then. As soon as the clock ticked 5:30, I heard a growl behind me. I opened the door and ran faster than I ever knew possible, while the growl turned into something that sounded like a demonic. It kept getting closer and closer. I ran into the elevator, practically ramming the backside with my shoulder. I turned around just in time to see a pair of red eyes staring at me from the hallway before the elevator door closed. The elevator started going up and stopped shortly after. When it opened, I found myself in an empty white frame with the electronic door on the other side. The only two things that contrasted the white walls and floors were a monitor mounted on one of the walls in silhouette of a person in dark uniform. He had the sign which said security on the back. "I finally found you." I smiled and stepped out of the elevator relieved. The guard looked at me with a confused expression, so I tried to explain who I was and thanked him for leaving the instruction behind for me. He shook his head. "What are you talking about?" he asked. "You said in your note that you'd be waiting on the other side." I said, "What note? Look bro, I'm just trying to find my way out of here. Been trying to find a way to open this door for ages." He looked even more confused by this point. "Look man, I've been following these notes you left because you said you'd be here, so just cut the bullshit." I took out the note and presented it to him. He inspected it with a serious look on his face and then looked at me and said, "Afraid you got the wrong guy, bro. This isn't my handwriting." "Well, if it wasn't you, who was it then?" I angrily remarked. Just then, the monitor on the wall turned on and the message flashed across the screen. Phase 4. Welcome, new recruits. To be continued. I'm sorry to cut off somewhere that's getting so good, but I'm excited. The stories are so good like this. So I hope you guys also enjoyed it. I'm sorry they are kind of short. I think I can only do around 20 minutes ASMR videos because it's kind of expensive to book these rooms, but I hope you've been enjoying it so far.